Alright, so welcome to a brand new video. So in this video, I'm going to be going over how I set up a retargeting campaign specifically for an e-commerce stores selling physical or digital products. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Now, before I begin, just like in my previous video, I'm just going to answer the number one most important question that you probably have is why should I listen to you, Ari, when there's hundreds, if not probably thousands of other content creators out there? And these are the kind of results that I'm currently getting for this particular e-commerce clothing brand. As you can see, this is the cold audience. So these adverts are shown to brand new customers, and this is the retargeting audience, which is what we're going to set up right now. So when I create a retargeting audience, I like to do retargeting based on video views. So people who watch video content of in this case, on behalf of my client, Instagram and Facebook followers if they've got a big enough following. And then, of course, people who visited the website and then, of course, didn't make a purchase. So, the first thing we're going to do is since this is a fairly new client and he doesn't really have much of a big audience, and what I mean by a big audience, he doesn't have a large social media following. He doesn't have video content that has thousands, if not millions of views, or hundreds of thousands at least. The only thing he has is website visitors, so people who visited the website but didn't buy. So what I'm going to do is, in this case where there's only going to be one retargeting advertisement, I'm going to create it within this current campaign. However, what I would recommend is if you've got multiple different retargeting audiences, then what I would do is create a separate campaign. And then, of course, as I like to do, is rename it to Retargeting Sales Rebirth. So follow the steps that I did in my previous video, and then all we're basically doing is we're going to change the ad sets over here. So all I'm going to do is rather than creating a separate campaign, I'm just going to create it within the current campaign only because I like to keep everything under one roof. However, if, for example, with this client, you can see we have one, two, three, four different retargeting audiences, then that's how I like to kind of do it. Now, because the product that we're selling, and if you didn't already know, it is a Bible. And once somebody buys this product, that's kind of it. They're not necessarily going to come back to buy another one, if that makes sense, unless they come back to buy one for a friend. But from the nature of what we're selling, I'm just going to create one simple retargeting audience. So, yeah. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and then I'm going to go to the duplicate or duplicates and then come over here, duplicate original setup. And then click on duplicates. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to come over here, I'm going to copy this. So the only audience that I'm going to do in this video is people who have visited the website but didn't buy, because this is one of the most profitable audiences that you can do. And it doesn't matter if you're a brand new e-commerce store, this is still going to be an effective audience for you to generate a really good return on your investment. So I'm just going to come down, and then what we're going to do is I'm going to come, oh well, I'm a bit too down, so I'm going to go a bit more up, and then I'm going to go to suggest an audience, click on show settings, and then I'm going to include an audience. And then this is where I'm going to include the page view, I'm going to include the initiate checkout, and I'm also going to include the purchase as well. So let me just go to custom audience. So this is where I'm going to include website. Now, of course, you can see here that we have video views, we have Instagram followers, etc. So if you ever wanted to add in audiences for video views, you come over here. If you want to add in audiences for Facebook page followers, you come over here. Instagram account, you come over here. But just for this video, I'm going to click on websites. I'm going to come over here, click on next. And then we've got the right pixel selected. And then I'm just going to create, I believe, 3 different custom audiences. So number 1 is going to be page view. So I'm going to make this audience. I think the maximum should be 180. Audience retention. And then for some reason it selected view content, but I wanted page view because that has more data. So let me just click on over here again. Let me select page view. Wonderful. So I'm just going to put page view 180 days. Because that's the audience retention over here. And then once that has been done, then I'm going to click on create audience. Yes, I'm just double checking that everything is okay. And then we're going to create 2 more audiences. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the ad copy that I'm going to use for these advertisements. So yeah, just wait. I think what's not helping is let me remove this. Let me remove this. Let me remove this. Let me remove this. And also let me remove that so it can go a bit more faster. Then we're going to create another audience. Then we're going to go to website. Then we're going to go over here. And then we're going to go over here. And then this time I'm going to select initiate. Well, I'm going to select add to cart. 180 days. And then I'm just going to call this ATC, which just means add to cart. Space hyphen space hyphen. Oopsie daisy, I forgot the space. Space 180 days. I'm just double checking the time. And then create this audience. Yep, that's correct. And then I'm going to create one final audience, which is going to be initiate checkout. So create custom audience. Let me go to website visitors. Click on next. And then last but not least, let me just go down and then we're going to select the initiate checkout. So these are people that have visited the checkout page, however, they didn't make a purchase. So then I'm going to put IC 180 days. And IC just means initiate checkout. And then once that's been done, I'm just going to click on create audience, and then those are the audience. So we have one audience, which is going to be for people who have clicked on the advertisement and visited the website, and that's all they've done, which is the page view. We have another audience, which is for those who clicked on the advertisement, visited the website, added something to the cart, but didn't make a purchase. And then we have one for those who went on the website, added something to their cart, went to the checkout page, but again failed to make a purchase. So I like to add all of them into one audience because it just makes a much bigger audience. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the image ad, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the copy. So I'm going to keep the same images. I'm just going to change the copy. Yeah, and again, how do I create the copy? I'm just going to go to ChatGPT. So support now. Could you create copy for retargeting website visitors, people who went on websites but didn't buy? Focus on urgency, because that's what you want for urgency and action to buy right now and not later. And then create 2 primary texts and 2 headlines. So So that's basically what I do. I put it into ChatGPT, and then I just wait for ChatGPT to give me the response. And then done. It's basically that. Like running Facebook ads is just so much easier now. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come to here, and then I'm just gonna change the copy. That's it. And the copy is just the words we use to sell the product or the service or the action that we want the customer to take. So I'm just gonna come over here. I'm just gonna paste it, and then let me just go up, and then yes, and whilst this is taking its time, in the previous video, I forgot to put in the Facebook page. I recognized that and I edited it after the video. So yeah, so my fault, my error, but just make sure that you always select the right Facebook page. Only because obviously I deal with multiple clients, and that's why I've got to make sure I select the right Facebook page. And then we just want to space this out, and then we're done. And then next will be this one, but so that we can just save a lot of time, let me just do it here, and then we can move on, since your time is very valuable and I definitely do not want to be wasting your time just waiting for a screen to basically load. Excellent. And then now what we want to focus on is this. So let me just go over to here. Scroll down, and then these are going to be for the headline. Wowza, my internet is really not good, isn't it? Or it might be because I'm using a bit too much memory. My apologies for this. Luckily, I'm almost done. So let me just remove this. Now, these, I sometimes like to use them, but not all the time. The Advantage Plus text. So you can use them if you want to. I have found them to be effective. But if they're off, they're off. If they're on, I leave them on. But some of the copy, as you can see over here, is just a bit ridiculous, and that's the reason why I have them off a lot of the times, because breaking, I don't really see anyone like buying that copy. And when I say buying, I mean clicking on the ad and actually making a purchase because of that copy. So that's the reason why. But in this instance, I'm keeping it off. So yeah. So let me just go back over here. Let me copy this, come over here, and then paste it. Excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing for the other ads, but I'm going to pause this video because it's just going a bit too slow. So yeah, give me, yeah. All right, so now that I've managed to do that, that is basically how I set up my retargeting campaign, specifically for a brand new e-commerce store that doesn't really have any followers, doesn't really have any like website visitors that I can use. So it doesn't have any video views that I can use from video content they've produced on their Facebook or on their Instagram. So what I would begin is using website visitors, page view, initiate checkouts, and also add to carts. And then obviously I've changed the copy for each of these three ads. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit publish. And then, now because this is retargeting, I'm going to reduce the budget because it's not going to have that many people. So I'm going to reduce the budget from $20 a day to only $10 a day. And then I'm going to take it from there. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it's been insightful. If you've got any questions, leave a comment down below, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.